I'm reading a book called Trading for a Living by Alexander Elder, and he talks about Alcoholics Anonymous in the book, and that the goal of an alcoholic is to stay sober one more day. Your goal is not to say, I used to be an alcoholic. Your goal is to say, I am an alcoholic. I am sober one more day. That's perfect for traders, right? Our goal is to risk the right amount. He calls it in the book a businessman's risk, to risk a businessman's risk every single day. And that's it. Don't take that sip of alcohol, show up every single day and stay sober one more day. Ultimately, that's exactly what we're trying to do here as traders. We're trying to stay sober one more day. We're trying to survive one more day. And the way that we do that is not go on that binger, that alcohol spree where we just lose our minds, lose our control, and throw everything out the window. I asked on YouTube, what was the emotion that people most experienced? The anger, fear, sadness, and disgust. And by far, the biggest emotion that people said they experienced when trading was fear. Another way of thinking about fear, or conceptualizing fear, is anxiety. I'm not talking about like a clinical level anxiety, but that nervousness that you feel, the worry that you feel around trading. That might be what you experienced before getting into a trade. That might be what you experienced while in a trade. It could be after a trade as well. Thinking about the future, or worrying about if you're going to be able to pass the challenge, or if you're going to be able to achieve whatever goal or whatever it is that you're thinking about. And the reason that anxiety comes about, the reason that happens, this is super, super key and super duper important. The reason that happens is because there's an intolerance for uncertainty. So when we are not able in life or as traders to tolerate uncertainty, it creates anxiety. The issue is uncertainty is all around us. My father-in-law likes to say there are only two things certain in life, taxes and death. There is no certainty in life. And yet, when we're trading, a lot of times we feel an expectation that the outcome is something other than just probable. We have this idea that if we trade this pattern or this chart setup that looks, just picture perfect, there's some degree of certainty. And we do all different kinds of things to try and increase the certainty rather than just acknowledging and recognizing that trading is entirely uncertain. There is no certainty about trading, none. Anytime you take a trade, no matter how picture perfect, how excellent the setup is, there is no certainty about the outcome. Likewise, you could trade an awful looking setup and make money. So there's no certainty in the market whatsoever, no certainty in trade. So there are psychologists who have studied this and found that people who experience anxiety cannot tolerate or struggle with the idea of not knowing something for sure. And some would even prefer a known or a guaranteed negative outcome rather than a potential positive outcome. Somebody was asking me about self-sabotage, and to an extent, that is kind of what this is. A known negative outcome can sometimes be more favorable, or somebody might prefer that than an uncertain positive outcome. And that all relates back to worry and an intolerance of uncertainty. You worry in an attempt to sort of gain certainty. We worry and we look for all different kinds of information and possible solutions to every problem because we're looking for some type of certainty. Knowing these things is the first step, but it's not the last step. We still have to show up and practice and work at it every single day. It's a muscle, just like anything else. It is absolutely a muscle, and sometimes we're going to relapse. But the only way to get better, give yourself grace. Trading is absolutely brutal psychologically. It just is. It is absolutely brutal psychologically. There are so many opportunities for you to beat yourself up day in and day out. Heck, it's a game where you're going to lose 50% or more of the time. That's brutal. When it comes to trading, even when you're good at it, you might still fail more often than you don't. It really is such a challenging thing that we're trying to do as traders. There has to be room for grace for ourselves. We have to speak positively to ourselves. Ideally, in life, we're speaking positively to ourselves day in and day out. But when it comes to trading, you kind of have to double down. You have to double down and daily reflect. I didn't kill it today. I didn't do awesome today, but here is what I did well. Here is what I want to do more of. You're not failing at everything related to trading. Even if you're here today, for example, well, you showed up to try and learn something to improve yourself. Maybe that's the only thing that we did well today, but that's something. We have to give credit to ourselves in the areas that we are doing the right thing. This is how we're programmed. This trading is so anti how we're inherently programmed. And that's what makes it such a task to master these things. You may worry in order to gain certainty. So gain certainty. What does that sound like to you in trading? What is it that we do to gain certainty in the market? Either your strategy changes or your guru changes. Backtesting in itself is not bad. It's a part of what we do and what we need to do. I'm not anti-backtesting, but I'm anti-backtesting to the level that I took it to personally. Because I took it to the level where it's like, I am no longer testing a strategy. I am looking for certainty because I want to know that this thing works. That is problematic. That is no longer serving what I'm trying to do as a trader. That is problematic behavior, looking for certainty rather than accepting that the outcome is unknown, unknowable, uncertain, and you're looking for and only for a probabilistic method. That's it. And so when you're hopping strategy to strategy to strategy, or guru to guru to guru, or whatever it is, what you're doing is trying to eliminate uncertainty. That is what is related to the anxiety we are experiencing as traders. It is not my method. It is not anything other than myself. I am focusing on myself as the weak link in the puzzle. And I don't mean that dismissively. I'm not a weak link. I'm not weak, but I am the link in the puzzle that needs focus. And I think that's true for most traders. Unless life is just easy sailing, smooth sailing as a trader, after you have a strategy, check that off your list. Risk management is pretty cut and dry. It's pretty basic. The biggest factor in your success or your demise as a trader is yourself. It's your psychology, it's your thoughts, your emotions, it's you. That's it.